Hey, are you ready to break the weight loss algorithm? Let's dive into the secrets of real lasting weight loss and transform your life for good. Stay tuned as we unveil the truth behind the numbers and unlock your path to your best self. Strap in, beat the algorithm and transform your life. Right, so is there actually a weight loss algorithm? Well, the diet and fitness industry would have us believe there is. They're all trying to push different schemes to try and help you lose weight. So let's take a look at a few of them and see if they're talking shit or not. The first one is, I'm sure, something you've all heard of, ketosis, or as the YouTube memes like to go along with, keto. It's basically the body entering a metabolic state where it burns fat instead of energy. It's where your body burns fat for energy instead of glucose. Really? Well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it's essentially built around a high carb diet. And we already know that consuming more protein has the thermogenic fat loss effect or something. That you actually burn calories when you're eating protein, or you burn more calories to consume protein. Now, the downside of keto is famous keto breath and constipation. But let's look at why it actually works. It works because you are consuming more you're burning more calories than you're consuming. There's a word for that. We'll talk about it later. The next one up is intermitting fasting, or harnessing the power of timing, as some of them like to make videos about. It's essentially skipping eating for a certain amount of time. Now, cynics call it, hey, I'm skipping breakfast, but I'll give it the title intermittent fasting. Now, you can buy plans, you can pay people for their books, you can subscribe to their channels, you can join their clubs. But essentially, can we guess how this one works? You're burning more calories than you're consuming. What's the word for that? I'm sure we all know. And for some of you it might have worked. I played with it, didn't work for me. Next up is cardio. Yep, there's a lot of guys out there, ripped as hell on the YouTube, showing them that if you do my exercises, you will lose weight. And somewhere along the line, it does have a role. It burns calories. But we all know another way to do that is to put less calories in. But cardio works because you're burning more calories than you're consuming. Can anyone guess what the word for that is yet? Next one up for ways for people to take your money are diet clubs. I've actually been in one of these and I did lose weight and I gained weight. The appeal is it gives support, and that's a great idea. However, it also implements company-specific plan, like with Slimming World, it's all about sins. That's already toxic. Weight Watchers is all about points. You could argue that's a bit toxic as well. But for a diet club to make money, they have to sell a plan that you can only follow when you're working with them. And you ask yourself, well, why don't people go for a few weeks, get the plan in their head, go home and try it for themselves? Well, it obviously doesn't work, does it? Otherwise everyone would be doing that and diet clubs wouldn't be making money. I think there's limitations to this in that you are relying on an ideology to lose weight rather than relying on yourself. But, question, I don't even need to ask you to put it in the comments. Why do diet clubs work? Because they encourage you to burn more calories than you consume. Anyone guess what the word is for this yet? This is just a game, but if you want to put it in the comments, I think we know, don't we? And finally, there's the meal replacements. There's loads out there, Slim Fast, 𝐓𝐇𝐈𝐒, Lighter Life, Cambridge Plan, hundreds of them. They're expensive and many of them are nutritionally balanced. But let's spin this round a bit. How do they work? By relying on these, you are consuming less calories than you are burning. What's the word for that? Positives, stick to it, you'll lose weight. Negatives, come off it, you'll start eating like you used to. You haven't addressed your relationship with food, therefore you either got to live on sawdust with hot water for the rest of your life, or address your food. Now, as we've said in these last systems, there is a word for this. It's called a calorie deficit. And that's all you have to do. Now, if I could come up with a way of convincing you to create a calorie deficit by following me, I'd be a millionaire. So I'm not going to do any fancy marketing. I'm just going to tell you how my journey's going. And to be honest, it's going okay. I'm not currently in loss, but guess what? I'm not currently in a calorie deficit, or a major one. So let's have a look at those numbers. How have I done this week? Well, this week I can't even bloody remember, to be honest. I think I'll get back to you on that one. The reason I had to get back to you was my camera was resting on my book that I keep all my notes in. Yes, I do keep notes. Don't have to, you can do it on your phone. I actually lost a pound. That was pretty good, considering I would say I've been maintaining, but I've not been trying too hard. I'm down to about 15, well, I'm 14, 13 now, back under the 15 stone, which is nice. I've been lower during this particular journey. I think I've arrived at a point that unless I ramp it up, I'm going to hover around here. But I am, as I've said in previous weeks, I am trying to bang more protein in because I'm going to the gym more. That's what I am proud of, is I'm lifting more, I'm feeling more agile, and that's good for me overall health. I do still need to lose a few pounds, and I'm going to. So how's my intake been this week? Well, I've had a deficit of 2,734. It's not huge. I always say that unless I have a deficit of 3,500, I'm probably not going to lose weight that week. But I lost weight last week, so I don't really care. That also gives me a daily average calories of 1,752, which, according to MyFitnessPal, is about 48 short of what they reckon I should be to lose weight. Now, maybe MyFitnessPal isn't taking into account my age. As people get older, they do tend to need a few less calories. But I know that if I eat 1,800 every week, I'm not going to lose much. But I don't really care at the moment. So how do we achieve this calorie deficit? Well, if you look back on my videos, and you should, and if you subscribe, you will be able to see them all. Some of them are crap. Some might say this one's crap because I'm still working on learning how to do this, but hey ho. I started off giving myself a target of 1,200. Now, everyone says that was a bit low for a 6-foot man who was best bit of 20 stone, but the key for me was that it was a target. Now, I didn't often achieve it. On weeks I did, I lost a shed load of weight. The first week I lost 7 pounds. That was amazing. And we just carried on from there. And we're now 58 weeks in. I'm a shadow of my former self. I went to a gig the other night, and people I've known for years didn't recognise me. Now, that's nice. Bit crap when nobody talks to you, but no, they didn't recognise me till I spoke, and then they remembered. I used to have hair when I used to go up with this lot as well, so it's all pre-pandemic. The point I'm trying to make is that I'm feeling better about myself on this journey. Now, back to the point of this video. Is there an algorithm for losing weight? I don't think there is, but people will try and sell you one. But there is a secret to losing weight, and it's achieving a calorie deficit. And you do that by setting yourself a target and sticking to it, setting yourself a system. There's a common theme to what I'm saying over the last few months. It's not about somebody else's system, it's about your system. So get out there and work out how you're going to achieve that calorie deficit. I know how I did it. I did it through sensible meals, a little bit of meal planning, a little bit of not beating myself up when I went wrong. And I've got there. And a year sounds like a long time if you're sitting there going, I want to change my life, I want to be in the swimsuit by summer. And no matter what anyone tells you, you are not going to lose 4 or 5 stone in 3 or 4 months. It's just not going to happen. Well, it is, but you jump on a plane to Turkey and get someone to suck it out. You know, it's genuinely not going to happen. There are people that tell me I lost weight a bit quick. And I think maybe I did, because I know that I did definitely experience some muscle wastage, which is why I'm having to hit the gym now. But the point is, you've got to strap yourself in for that long journey. Once you've accepted that, and once you've taken control over your own steps to get there, you have beaten the weight loss algorithm. Because guess what? Just like the YouTube algorithm for creators, there isn't really one. And with YouTube, they tell us there is no real algorithm. You've just got to keep turning up and creating great content, which is why I'm not doing very well, because my content isn't that great. And it's the same with weight loss. You keep turning up, you keep sticking to a plan that is great, and you will lose weight. But it's not going to happen overnight. So how can we help each other? Well, you can tune into my videos, you can talk to me. I've noticed over the last few weeks my subscriber count's sneaking up a bit, and I am getting the odd comments. One person that's commented more than a few times is Grace Collins. Thank you. It's really nice to hear somebody coming back to the channel. But those of you that jump on the commenting now, we're at the early stages. It's great. I'll answer all your questions. And most of the questions that I'll be able to help you with is, how do you stay to your plan? What can you eat to stop you feeling to keep you feeling full? Or how do you get around birthdays, holidays and stuff like that? Well, I can help with all sorts of that stuff, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, I'm not a dietitian, but I am someone that's walked the walk. And as you can see from the pictures behind me, I think that side's the thin one, that side's the fat one, but could be that way around. I've succeeded at this. Well, I'm I wouldn't say succeeded, but I've lost a lot of weight. So I'm proof that you can do it. I'm also someone you can talk to help you get there. So please like, comment, subscribe, but most importantly, engage. I'd love to hear from you. People are telling me I should have a go at doing a live. I'm going to, but I've got to work out how to do it yet. So that's coming up. When I do it, you'll notice my TikTok, my YouTube shorts, my social media will go nuts trying to get people on, and I'd really love you to turn up. I don't know when it's going to be yet because I've got a lot of other stuff going on in my life, but I would love to hear from you. Thanks ever so much for watching, it means so much, and knowing that you've watched is the reason I keep making the videos. The reason I keep making the videos is to keep me on track to lose weight. That's what works for me. I'm not suggesting you all go out there and start a YouTube channel, but find something that works for you. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'm happy with that. That seems to be becoming a catchphrase now. I like it. Thank you.